Silence, all stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Divya Alawat.
May it please the court, I move that Divya Alawat be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Divya Alawat be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claire Elizabeth Bellamy.
May it please the court that I move that Claire Elizabeth Bellamy be admitted as a lawyer into this honourable court.
That Claire Elizabeth Bellamy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shanali Dasuni Bianwila.
May it please the court, I move that Shanali Bianvilla be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Shanali Dasuni Binanwala be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
James Michael Booth.
May it please the court, I move that James Booth be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That James Michael Booth be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Riley Charles Bowman.
May it please the court, I move that Riley Charles Bowman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Riley Charles Bowman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michael Gordon Brown.
May it please the court, I move that Michael Gordon Brown be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Michael Gordon Brown be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Harley Buggy.
May it please the court, I move that Harley Buggy be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Harley Buggy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Darcy Clyde Campbell.
May it please the court, I move that Darcy Clyde Campbell be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Darcy Clyde Campbell be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Peyton Cassar.
May it please the court, I move that Peyton Cassar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Peyton Cassar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Chi Hui Cheng.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Chi Hui Cheng be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Anna Chi Hui Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Angela Bharati Devarajan.
May it please the court, I move that Angela Bharati Devarajan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Angela Bharati Devarajan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kyle James Dermock.
May it please the court, I move that Kyle James Dimmock be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kyle James Dimmock be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Graham Russell Egan.
May it please the court, I move that Graham Russell Egan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Graham Russell Egan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amelia Emma Hope Frisch.
May it please the court, I move that Amelia Emma Hope Frisch be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amelia Emma Hope Frisch be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jose Fernando Gonzalez Gutierrez.
May it please the court, I move that Jose Fernando Gonzalez Gutierrez be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jose Fernando Gonzalez Gutierrez be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Manisha Manoj Gopalan.
May it please the court, I move that Manisha Manoj Gopalan, my daughter, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Manisha Manoj Gopalan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Keisha Ann Grove.
May it please the court, I move that Keisha Ann Graham be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Keisha Ann Grog be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Thomas Lawrence Gumley.
May it please the court, I move that Thomas Lawrence Gumley be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let Thomas Lawrence Gumley be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Pravan Kumar Gupta.
May it please the court, I move that Pravan Kumar Gupta be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Pravin Kumar Gupta be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Natasha Maria Henriques.
May it please the court, I move that Natasha Maria Henriques be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Natasha Maria Henriques be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ayana Hood.
May it please the court, I move that Ayana Hood be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ayana Hood be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madison Mary Horn.
May it please the court, I move that Madison Mary Horn be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madison Mary Horn be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hardy He Huang.
May it please the court, I move that Hardy He Huang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Hardy He Huang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Marcus Charles Houston.
May it please the court, I move that my son Marcus Charles Houston be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Marcus Charles Houston be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shin Tong Jia.
May it please the court, I move that Shin Tong Jia be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shin Tong Jia be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lillian Mary Jones.
May it please the court, I move that Lillian Mary Jones be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lillian Mary Jones be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shunchal Preet Kaur.
May it please the court, I move that Chantal Preet Kaur be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Chung Chao Preet Kaur be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shannon Lena Kelleher.
May it please the court, I move that Shannon Lena Kelleher be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shannon Lena Kelleher be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Salmana Khalid.
May it please the court, I move that Salmana Khalid be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Salmana Khalid be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Augustine Huasung Ko.
May it please the court, I move that Augustine Huasong Ko be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Augustine Huasung Ko be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Leah Chukming Lam.
May it please the court, I move that Leah Chukming Lam be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Leah Chukming Lam be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Han Young Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Han Young Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Han Young Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lee San Leong.
May it please the court, I move that Lee Sang Leong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lee San Leong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cameron Louis Liu.
May it please the court, I move that Cameron Louis Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Cameron Louis Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
John Paul Mariano Panarello.
May it please the court, I move that John Paul Mariano Panarello be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let John Paul Mariano Panarello be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Leah Park.
May it please the court, I move that Leah Park be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Leah Park be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ashley Linda Petzer.
May it please the court, I move that Ashley Linda Petzer be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ashley Linda Petzer be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nicholas Theo Rail.
May it please the court, I move that Nicholas Theo Rail be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nicholas Theo Rail be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zoe Rail.
May it please the court, I move that Zoe Rail be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zoe Rail be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Uma Devika Rumraka.
May it please the court, I move that my niece Uma Devika Ramraka be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Uma Devika Ramraka be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Olivia Eve Roney.
May it please the court, may it please the court, I move that my daughter Olivia Eve Roney be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Olivia Eve Roney be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Montana Sefton Rumor.
May it please the court, I move that my niece, Montana Sefton Rumor, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Montana Sefton Rumor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Courtney Lee Russo.
May it please the court, I move that Courtney Lee Russo be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Courtney Lee Russo be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amanda Saliba.
May it please the court, I move that Amanda Saliba be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amanda Saliba be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Manaya Salifu.
May it please the court, I move that Munaya Salifu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Munaya Salifu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madeline Victoria Smith.
May it please the court, I move that my niece, Madeline Victoria Smith, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madeline Victoria Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Annalise Mary Therese Stanton.
May it please the court, I move that Annalise Mary Therese Stanton be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Annalise Mary Therese Stanton be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madeline Elizabeth Stratford.
May it please the court, I move that Madeline Elizabeth Stratford be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madeline Elizabeth Stratford be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Juliet Miley Van Rattingen.
May it please the court, I move that Juliet Maylie Van Rattingen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Let Juliet May Lee Van Rattingen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Larissa Grace van der Reest.
May it please the court, I move that Larissa Grace van der Reest be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Larissa Grace van der Reest be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joshua Valdeniger.
May it please the court, I move that Joshua Valdeniger be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Josh Vanenga be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zachary Joseph Wone.
May it please the court, I move that Zachary Joseph Wone be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zachary Joseph Wone be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Peter Lee Yi Young.
May it please the court, I move that Peter Lee Young be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Peter Lee Young be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anthony Tong Yuong.
May it please the court, I move that Anthony Tong Yung be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anthony Tong Yung be admitted as a lawyer of this court. It will now be necessary for those applicants whose admission has just been moved to stand and remain standing for the purpose of swearing an oath or making a declaration and affirmation. So please stand as directed by the officiating officer.
If you'll sit down until I just read out, you'll ask each row to sit down. So rows 1 and 2 on my right, please stand. Thank you. Divya Alawat, Claire Elizabeth Bellamy, Shanali Dasuni Bianwilla, James Michael Booth, Riley Charles Bowman, Michael Gordon Brown, Harley Buggy, Darcy Clyde Campbell, Peyton Kassar, Anna Shiwei Hank Cheng, Angela Bharati Devarajan, Kyle James Durmack, Graham Russell Egan, Amelia Emma Hope Frisch, Jose Fernando Gonzalez Gutierrez, Manisha Manoj Gopalan. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Thank you. Please sit down. And could rows 3 and 4 to my right please stand up? Keisha Ann Grog, Thomas Lawrence Gumley, Pravin Kumar Gupta, Natasha Maria Henricus, Ayana Hood, Madison Mary Horn, Hardy He Huang, Marcus Charles Houston, Shintong Jia, Lillian Mary Jones, Chunchal Preet Kaur, Shannon Leah Kelleher, Salmana Khalid, Augustine Hwasung Ko, Leah Chukming Lam, Han Young Lee, Lee San Leong. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. The row in front of me, please stand. Cameron Louis Liu, John Paul Mariano Panarello, Leah Park, Ashley Linda Petzer, Nicholas Theo Rail, Zoe Rail, Uma Devika Ramraka, Olivia Eve Roney, Montana Sefton Rumor. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of the lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. And could both rows to my left please stand up? Courtney Lee Russo, Amanda Saliba, Munaya Salifu, Madeline Victoria Smith, Annalise Mary Therese Stanton, Madeline Elizabeth Stratford, Juliet May Lee Van Rattingen, Larissa Grace Van der Rist, Joshua Vardenega, Zachary Joseph Wone, Peter Lee Yi Young, Anthony Tong Yung. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Please say, "So help me God," or "I do."
So help me God.
Thank you. Please sit down.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today, to my right, is Justice Richard Kavanagh of the Common Law Division of the Supreme Court, and to my immediate left, Judge Dina Yahya, also a judge of the Common Law Division of the Court. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you, the newly admitted lawyers, to practice this morning. We're also joined on the bench by His Honour Judge Grant of the District Court, who is the resident District Court Judge in Albury and sits particularly in that region. Welcome, Judge Grant. This ceremony takes place on land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, and the court pays its respects to elders past and present, and extends those most sincere respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Well, to all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. This morning is one for celebration, and I'm also pleased to welcome those with you here in the court today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on your journey to this day. No doubt they've been on the receiving end of your developing or finely polished skills of argument and persuasion, and I encourage you to take the time to thank them this morning. Depending on how good an advocate you have already become, you might even convince them to shout you lunch or dinner to celebrate the day. We know, we on the bench know how hard you've all worked to get here. It is a memory that never really leaves you. And for most of you, your journey has involved two extraordinarily challenging final years affected by the challenges of the pandemic. So you have managed your legal studies and qualifications with this additional adversity unprecedented in our lifetimes, and that makes your achievements in being admitted to practice all the more impressive. The resilience you have no doubt developed will stand you well into the future. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers in 1824, and by 1830 the names of lawyers were entered onto the rolls in this state, as you will do immediately after this ceremony. It is an acknowledgement of this weighty responsibility that we observe today's unique formalities, including the fact that your admission, as we have seen, has been moved by someone who is already a member of the profession, and that you have made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers. They are all thereby witnesses to the promises and undertakings you have made today. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation that you have just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law Office, a government department or agency, the Aboriginal Legal Service, or in an entirely different field, you should be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. Admission as a member of the legal profession is a privilege. It is not a right. Now, I referred earlier to tradition and formality, and you will see from some of the portraits around us, portraits of former Chief Justices hanging on the walls of this court, that we are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. Symbolically, that highlights the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to continuity of the rule of law, in a world in which there is great global uncertainty and insecurity, the rule of law is much more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some theoretical or academic interest. It is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists, and we know from our knowledge of current affairs that there's nothing theoretical about those threats to democracy and society more broadly. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. The pandemic, of course, meant a rapid shift to increased use of virtual courtroom technology to ensure access to justice continued in the midst of a pandemic. We are proud of what was able to be achieved in the courts during that time, and we also salute those other professions, especially the medical, nursing and education areas, who did so much for our community throughout the pandemic. But returning to the legal profession, the technological impetus brought about by the pandemic has also delivered greater workplace flexibility, especially important for lawyers with family or caring responsibilities, and especially important for remote and regional communities. It has had profound implications for how our legal system interacts with and may become accessible to many more people. But although the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, the practice of the law has human nature, human beings, and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, how they perform under and cope with pressure and how they deal with each other. And as I said in my swearing-in speech as Chief Justice earlier this year, while the remote practice of the law may be possible, it is far from desirable. There are, of course, many other changes that deserve attention in addition to those that have been brought about by the pandemic. When we think of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter a duality that on the one hand, we have come a long way, but on the other hand, much still needs to be done. For example, although women were originally not even permitted to practice, a sort of a shocking reality, since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practising certificate in New South Wales, and 2/3 of solicitors under the age of 30 are women. And some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia, including the current Chief Justices of the High Court of Victoria, Queensland and the ACT, as well as the President of our own Court of Appeal, are very distinguished female lawyers, as are our State Director of Public Prosecutions and the Senior Public Defender in New South Wales. There should also be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can and feel that they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a legal system reflective of our broader community. That is important for all sorts of reasons, not least of which is engendering trust in and respect for the legal profession and ultimately an appreciation of the importance of the rule of law underpinning our civil society. The admissions ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge almost 4 years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice some time ago. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity within the profession. That in turn, as I say, builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary and the legal profession. So you, the newly admitted lawyers, enter the profession at a time when more than ever your words and actions are having an impact for good. And shortly I will invite 2 young lawyers who were in your shoes not so very long ago to say a few words of welcome on behalf of the Bar and the Law Society. You will find, I hope, that the legal profession is one rich with opportunities. But first let me offer a little more advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and to the administration of justice. And one mistake that you must not fall into the trap of making is to give your clients the advice you think that they want to hear. That will not be good advice. Your role is to give as accurate, as competent and independent advice as you can. Justice Gagler, one of our great High Court judges, once said, I quote, "You must be prepared to give the same answer to the same questions for the same reasons, no matter who asks the question or for what purpose or in what context the asking may occur." Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but the law as it applies to people's lives. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer is in many cases an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial security. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services sensitively, competently and fearlessly, but always with courtesy and integrity, not only, of course, directed to your own clients, but to those with whom they may be in dispute. In this context, I want to emphasise the importance of civility. Aspects of the law, especially if you are involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational. The practice of the law can be stressful and demanding enough without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as sometimes regrettably happens. It is essential that you maintain or strive to maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you are now members of a profession. This is not a business, it is a profession. And remember this also, that the best advocates can and do make their points simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges, I dare say, could also use that reminder from time to time. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, other times by deciphering poor legal drafting, or sorting through the facts to put them in an understandable and intelligible legal context. So strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. At various points in your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time, especially when we're starting something new. What is important is that you try not to make the same mistake twice. When you do, even when you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are both extremely important. There may be, and I dare say will be, times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that's often because well-motivated lawyers will strive to go the extra mile for their clients. They will want to solve the problem. They will want to ensure that they are on top of the facts, understand the arguments, etc. And that is an admirable quality and feature of many lawyers. But it is physically and mentally taxing and demanding. You must work hard to keep your balance, physical and mental, and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it, as frankly we all have from time to time and sometimes still do, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective, or suggest gently to your colleagues that they consider doing so themselves. Also remember in this context that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And in that context, let me now call upon two young representatives of both the New South Wales Bar Association and the Law Society to say a few words. Mr. Hawilla, do you move?
May it please the Court. My name is Mahmood Hawilla, and I've been practicing for 2 years at the bar, predominantly in criminal law. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and most importantly, to society's values as it changes over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. And you are welcome, either straight away or after some time as a solicitor, to apply to come to the bar. It is an honor to be a lawyer, and in my case, a barrister. And I am very proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job, and that it allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court, and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its websites on the steps to take. And there's also a Career at the Bar Open Day, with the last one held in October. To become a barrister, you must pass the bar exams and satisfactorily complete the bar practice course and reading requirements in the first year at the bar. In terms of the support available in your first year of practice as a reader, you have 2 tutors who are barristers of 7 years seniority, who meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you practical skills, whether by appearing with them in court or otherwise. The bar is also renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers, so you are not isolated or alone. The New South Wales Bar Association is the professional body that supports barristers, and it has several committees including, for example, a new barristers committee, which organises social and educational functions for barristers of 0 to 5 years seniority, like me. A wellbeing committee, which runs seminars on health and well-being, promoting balance between work and the other parts of your lives. And a diversity and equality committee, of which I am a proud member, that promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual preference. Whether as a lawyer or a barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or the Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the profession, and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Thank you. Ms. Spirovsky speaking on behalf of the Law Society of New South Wales.
May it please the court. My name is Taylor Spirovsky, and not very long ago, I stood where you are standing today. And what a day it is. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect, and it's definitely not always easy. It can be overwhelming, but as I stand here today, after 6 months of working as a solicitor, I can tell you I have already learned a thing or two. One of the most important things I have learned is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one to which you now belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is the home of that community, with our 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. That is why I've been a part of the Law Society's New South Wales Young Lawyers branch for nearly 2 years now, as I joined as a law graduate. Here I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance, and support when I needed it most, as well as opportunities to advocate and join committees. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as a newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So again, congratulations to you all. Look us up or speak to your employer. We look forward to welcoming you into the Law Society community. Remember that it is your profession to better and to shape, and I wish you all the best in that pursuit. May it please the court.
Thank you, Ms. Brodsky. Well, can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, it's challenging, it's satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed, and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer and of your achievements to date, and you should remain proud to be a lawyer. It is a very important profession, and you are now a very important part of it. Hold your heads high and the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead. On behalf of all of the judges of the Supreme Court, Justice Kavanagh, Justice Yahya, Judge Grant, and myself, we congratulate you all on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.